What was significant about the findings in Van Korte's experiment? Okay, so again, we have a name, so that's good. The rate at which the sleep-deprived men entered a pre-diabetic state. The fact that sleep deprivation had an influence on the men's glucose levels. The differences between individual men with regard to their glucose tolerance. The extent of the contrast in the men's metabolic states between sleep debt and recovery. So the topic here, we can see all these questions, all these sentences are related to men, so that's what they have in common. And we're talking about their glucose levels, pre-diabetic state, so we know the general topic of this paragraph. Okay, and let's go back. So this, just looking at number 10, it said in the third paragraph, so we can pretty much assume that this is going to be in the fourth paragraph. Let's see if we're right. So, and we're looking for Van Korte's experiment, the significant findings. So paragraph 4. Okay, so take a look at this paragraph, see if you can find the answer. I'll give you a few minutes. Okay, so we've got a few different answers coming in here, but the majority, certainly in the Zoom chat, yeah, the majority say D, and Will has come up with the reasons for that. Yes, in fact, so Will says D, and he says the big surprise was the effect being much greater than we thought. And that is absolutely correct, Will. So quite a few other people got that as well. That is the last line here. So it says, we knew it would be affected. And it refers to the contrast between sleep debt and recovery. We knew it would be affected, says Van Korte. The big surprise was the effect being much greater than we thought. So D, if you remember, said, number 11, the extent of the contrast in the men's metabolic states between sleep debt and recovery. So they knew it would be effective, so they weren't surprised by that, but they were surprised by how much it was affected.
So many students thought it was A. Ram, Karam, Quor, Teresa, Rimple, Latifa, Bahia. Very interesting. Only on Facebook Live, only Melody got D. Very interesting. Okay. Why do you think so many thought it was A?
Well, let's have a look. Okay, so A says the rate at which the sleep-deprived men entered a pre-diabetic state. So let's look for the key word, which is pre-diabetic state. And of course, I can't find it. Oh, here we are. So while sleep-deprived, the men's glucose metabolism resembled a pre-diabetic state. Okay. We knew it would be affected, so that wasn't a great surprise. It doesn't talk about a rate, the rate at which the sleep-deprived men entered, so it doesn't talk about how quickly they did it. It just says that they entered this pre-diabetic state. I don't think it says how quickly they did. And really, the significant part is highlighted here, the big surprise, right? So what was significant? The big surprise was the effect being much greater than we thought. So I think one of the key words here, if you look at the question number 11, it says, what was significant about the findings? Okay, and it's here. Okay, so you see the big surprise, significant, and then you've got the answer directly after that. Okay, so I think people who wrote A maybe just saw pre-diabetic state and thought that kind of sounded okay. but you have to be really sure. So it says the rate at which the sleep-deprived men entered a pre-diabetic state. And as I said, it doesn't mention how quickly that happened. And that wasn't what was the most significant. So hopefully I've managed to explain why A is not correct.